Imagine nonprofit work transformed by purpose-built tools. That would mean less guessing and more connecting, less admin and more impact, less stuck and more go. With the giving platform built for purpose, you don't have to imagine. Bloomerang can help you raise more funds, retain more donors, save more time, and grow stronger relationships with your supporters so you can spend time on what matters most, your mission. Want to see how over 20,000 nonprofits are using Bloomerang to raise, retain, and recruit more supporters? Well, take a free on-demand tour of the giving platform today. Go to jcsocialmarketing.com/Bloomerang. That's jcsocialmarketing.com/BLOOMERANG. Okay, on to the show. Hello, and welcome to Nonprofit Nation. I'm your host, Julia Campbell, and I'm going to sit down with nonprofit industry experts, fundraisers, marketers, and everyone in between to get real and discuss what it takes to build that movement that you've been dreaming of. I created the Nonprofit Nation podcast to share practical wisdom and strategies to help you confidently find your voice, definitively grow your audience, and effectively build your movement. If you're a nonprofit newbie or an experienced professional who's looking to get more visibility, reach more people, and create even more impact, then you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hi, everyone. This is Nonprofit Nation. I'm Julia Campbell. So happy that you are here with me today. And today's topic, how to grow and convert your email list. So we know that growing your nonprofit's email list is very important, and that is one thing. But turning subscribers into engaged donors is quite another. So today I'm going to talk with nonprofit digital marketing expert Chris Barlow, founder of Beeline Marketing, to tell us how nonprofits can consistently grow their audience and cultivate relationships that lead to first-time donations and hopefully long-term engagement and sustainable fundraising. So Chris, welcome back to Nonprofit Nation.
Thank you, Julia. It's been a little while, I think, maybe 2 years or something. I can't remember.
Yes, I think it was 2022. So way too long.
My
but
goodness.
You did speak at the Nonprofit Social Media Summit in 2024. Just always happy to have your expertise on these topics. You've been on the show before, but for those who don't know about you, tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to focus on nonprofit marketing.
I was in corporate sales in a career that I liked it, but I didn't see myself retiring in it. And I ended up doing sales, like kind of falling into it and really enjoying it. I didn't think I even wanted to be in business at all. But knowing that I didn't want to retire in that industry or stay with that long term, or even that I would be able to if I wanted to, I just kind of always wanted to start my own business. So I took a course on Google Ads back in 2015, and I knew a nonprofit, and I was like, hey, thinking to myself, why don't I just reach out to them and offer to run their Google ad grant for free? Because like the ads aren't costing anything. I can't make any like bad mistakes. They're not doing anything with it. And so they were like, yeah, that'd be great. So I did that. And then I reached out, that gave me some good experience. I got some other clients that weren't nonprofits right away. At some point, we're like, Chris, we want to pay you for what we're doing and really expand it and do more than just kind of learning with this. We want to actually go somewhere and we like what you're doing. And so they turned into a client, and then they started referring me to other nonprofits they knew. So it just kind of fell into the nonprofit space. And I was really happy about it because part of the reason I wasn't interested in business in college is I just always wanted to do something with more purpose. And so being able to combine my love of sales and marketing with purpose it's just what made me feel like this was a great fit.
I love that. I feel very similar. So today we're talking about email specifically, and with so many digital marketing options available to nonprofits, why should we prioritize email over social media or paid ads? And should we prioritize it?
So while it's really important to keep your eye on social media and be engaged there, the biggest downside to social media or paid is that you don't own the platform. You don't own the audience. At any point, any of the social platforms can change how you are able to reach. And they do. Whereas you own your email list. You own the permission of those people to contact them. And that's not going away. I mean, obviously there's some laws that could make it, the things could change, but it changed so much more slowly. And so it's an asset. And so, and everyone pretty much uses email, and not everyone uses every social channel. So again, we want to be engaged in social, but we have to find the right one for your audience. Whereas you know that you're going to reach your donors through email. And the data also consistently comes back that email, and I'm going to lump SMS into email. They are approached a little differently, but most email marketing platforms can do SMS, and usually you combine the two, is the most effective channel for fundraising. It has like and this is even applies in the for-profit space. It has like a 40-to-1 return on investment on average.
So $40
put in $1,
$1.
Put in $1. Yeah, exactly. That's the average.
Wow.
On
That's
email.
Pretty amazing. So, and yeah, I don't know I should know what the social media average is, but it's definitely not that. What's a typical open rate for a nonprofit?
I think across the industry, 20%. It's around 20%.
And on Facebook, engagement is like 0.01% of your fans see. I'm teaching, as we record this, my social media for Social Good Academy. And the whole first module is around the platforms and the trends and what people are seeing. And everyone is always so shocked to hear the incredibly low organic engagement rates, especially on Facebook. It's higher on LinkedIn and Instagram. But still, the point being, your open rate is 20%. That means you're reaching 20% of your audience, as opposed to when you post on your Facebook page, you're only reaching like 1%.
Yeah, Facebook and other platforms, they kind of want you to pay to show to more of your audience. And obviously with email, it's not based on how much money you put in. It's just based on how effective your email subject line is, basically.
So what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see nonprofits making with email?
I would say there are two things. And the first one is not being consistent. It's kind of this opposite expectation where like, oh, if we email people too often, they're going to get tired of us and unsubscribe. But if you think about your own email inbox, there are people you're subscribed to who you like hearing from, and they email you all the time. And the reason isn't you don't get tired of hearing from people and unsubscribe for that reason. You unsubscribe because when you hear from someone who we want to unsubscribe from, either it's not relevant to you anymore, or they're draining your emotional bank account. And you only ever hear from them when they want something from you, and they're not providing value to you and encouraging you and filling your emotional bank account. And so being consistent helps you stay top of mind as a nonprofit. And so it isn't too much to send people a weekly email and to always just be showing up to them. And they're not going to, if we have a 20% open rate, maybe you have better than that, hopefully, but not everyone in your audience is going to see all your emails anyway. They're just, it's just going to get buried. So they're only going to see some of them, and that's going to be a way for you to stay top of mind. So consistency. And then kind of tied into that is, are you nurturing people? Are you writing very professionally with a beautifully designed email every time, and it looks like this just very organizational email? Or does it feel like a personal email from a friend or someone who, has a more personal connection? And are you writing to them in such a way that it feels more like a personal email? And again, I think if our mindset and heart is, I want to write to my donor and treat them like someone I'm interested in and like and want to know, and then that will come through in how you do your emails and how you communicate. And so then your donors won't be tired of hearing from you, because it'll feel like, this is a personal email from someone I know and I trust and I like, and I don't mind hearing from them. And so that, I think those are the main things, is consistency and being personal in terms of email strategy.
I cringe sometimes when I hear my clients say they send a quarterly email. The first thing I think of is, first of all, how packed is that email and overwhelming to read? If it's got an entire quarter's worth of news in it. And then what if I delete that email by accident, or it goes to spam and I don't get it? I won't have heard from the organization for 6 months. I do agree. We need to be sending more email. What you said just really stuck out to me. I think of my email inbox. The people that email me consistently that I want to hear from, I don't always read every email, but I want to stay informed and I like hearing from them. It's like you said, its relevancy, its timeliness, it's something of value to me, something of interest to me. So I don't have to open every single email that is sent to me. I just don't want, I want to be in the loop. Like I want to be in the know of what's going on. And I think that that is something that organizations can really jump upon, especially right now where people are seeking out truth and information, especially around like the causes that they care about. So I think that's a really great point. So what are some effective ways for nonprofits to consistently grow their email list?
There's a lot of options here. Start with the deep heart principle, and that's find how your values shape what, how your mission plays out. Your core values of like, okay, we value the life of every animal. We believe animals are valuable. So therefore we have a shelter and we, care for animals that are not cared for. I'm just making this up. Well, how does that care for animals and the value that they bring to people and just their own intrinsic value, how does that inform how you can serve people who don't yet know you? Can you serve people in a practical way through your marketing that gets them to feel interested in hearing from you? So, for example, putting together some kind of resource or guide that will help pet owners to be better owners, to care better for their animals, or whatever it is, whatever your nonprofit's focus is. So that taking what are our values and how can we put together something that furthers those values, but it does it in a way that serves people who could be our donors. And so instead of just telling people to sign up for your newsletter, which there are some nonprofits who are very news more oriented. And so you can just say, sign up to get news updates and people are interested in that. But most nonprofits, there aren't any news to report. And so getting your newsletter isn't that interesting. So offering something of value to people is a much more powerful way and effective way to get people to join your email list. So I usually will push like something like a lead magnet of some kind.
A lead magnet. So that's like free resources or a downloadable that they would then give you their email address and you would send to them.
Yes, exactly.
How do you get people? How do you promote these lead magnets? I guess that's where the other digital marketing facets come in. Is there a pop-up on your website, but then you also have to drive people to this lead magnet?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways you can do that. My favorite ways to do that, obviously, making it really prominent on your website so that people can find it, so any of your traffic gets it, posting it on social media when it's relevant, and then, of course, advertising are some of the main ways. And with regards to advertising, a great place to start is the Google Grant because it's free ads. And the Google Grant is people are going online to look for a problem or a solution to a problem or an answer to a question. How do I help train my cat to stay in a kennel for a night or whatever? Like you can answer some of those questions. You can do Facebook ads. Facebook is a very effective, low cost way to grow your email list. There are now new ways actually to reach audiences on LinkedIn. If you go, George at Whole Whale just posted on LinkedIn about this, and we haven't run in this with any clients yet, but Bing has just, Microsoft owns Bing. It's there and they own LinkedIn. And now you can do what's called a performance max campaign on Bing and say, I want to target these ads on LinkedIn. And so you can do video and image ads through your Microsoft ad account, and it will show video and image ads on LinkedIn. So you're going through a Microsoft ad account rather than through LinkedIn's ad manager. And the costs are like 30% of what, 1/3 of what you'd be paying directly on LinkedIn. So that's another new opportunity for nonprofits. Anyway,
I love that.
There's a lot of different ways you can go about it. I usually will recommend or start with the grant and maybe some Facebook as a good place to start.
This is how I grew my email list. I had a blog for a really long time, and then I was posting on social media, but I wasn't really building my email list. I was kind of just offering the subscribe link. Like you said, like no one wants to subscribe to an email newsletter. They want to subscribe to hear information that's relevant to them, or they want to get a resource that's valuable to them. Nobody just signs up for an email newsletter because they want more email. Nobody wants more email. And then once I started creating guides, free ebooks or free webinars, free resources, that was what really helped me grow my list. And going on podcasts, going on, giving webinars to other people's audiences, partnering with people like you, Chris. I mean, that really helped me grow my list. So I think for nonprofits, I would say, I'd reiterate what you said, just be proactive rather than reactive. Like you can't just put a box on your website that says sign up and then complain that no one's signing up. You have to really be a little bit more proactive.
Yeah, and that's a great point about doing webinars or podcasts. I know a lot of places now are doing like summits of like you did. You're more organizing. You're bringing together a bunch of people. And so you could bring together several organizations that are all different angles around the same problem and all talk about that and invite people to come to it for free. And that's one way you can all grow your audiences.
All right. Well, the second part of this is conversion. So what should nonprofits focus on once they have these new subscribers?
So the main two things I'll say are you want to start communicating with people immediately. And you've probably heard already the importance of a welcome series. I think that's talked about a whole lot all the time. So a welcome series is just, the first week, maybe 5-7 days, you send an email out per day, automated to make, maybe the first email is sending the promised resource, or if it was an event, sending them a link to the event, and then having some follow-up emails that begin to tell your story and segue or draw the line from here's how we're helping you. Here's why we're helping you, because it's part of our heart, our core values. Here's how we also live out these values. This is what our mission is. And so helping them see like, this is a small piece of the big picture. Mm-hmm. We created this guide because it's part of what we do. It's who we are. And we wanted to care for you too. One thing I like with Welcome Series 2 is you can send other resources to your new subscribers that you didn't even create. You can find another org that has a great resource and highlight them. So you don't have to be the one that creates everything.
I do that all the time.
You just curate stuff. Yeah.
You do that all the time, Chris.
Yes. Because it's saying, hey, here's a trusted resource that's along the same topic, and I think it could help you. And then you don't have to feel overwhelmed to create all these different things. And so it's just a great way to also show goodwill to other organizations and like highlight other people, because people trust people who like aren't all about themselves. So showing in your welcome series, we're not about ourselves. We're here to help you. Here's some other resources. Here's some stories. Here's why we're doing this. And then I do recommend having an ask at the end of that series saying, if you would like to support our work, and particularly if you would like us to help us to get this resource into the hands of more people that we created for you. Has it been helpful to you? Can you help us? If you donate $50 today, we can get this into the hands of 10 more people or of 100 more people, whatever the number is. And so you could try to get them to support your mission too, but you could also just tie the ask directly to the way you helped them. And so asking right away is a good idea.
I agree. And this is pretty controversial. I don't know about controversial, but this is something that I do get asked all the time. So I'm glad that you mentioned it. How much should we ask? Like, how much is too much? How can we make sure that we're keeping these email subscribers engaged, but not overwhelming them with fundraising appeals?
That's a great question. So first of all, again, think of it as if you were writing to a friend. Would you ask your friend this many times for X, Y, or Z? Mm-hmm. 1. And 2, if you just need a helpful ratio, I like a ratio of 4-1. So 4 emails that nurture, 1 email that asks. And you don't have to do it in that order, right? You could have 25 emails that nurture all year long, and then 10 to 15 emails at the year end that are all about giving. You're not worried about that because, people like to hear from you, and you know that only 20% of them, or maybe more, are going to even open each email. So if you've sent 15 appeals in a row at year end with different angles, telling stories and stuff, not everyone's going to open every one of those emails. And people do need to have the repeated message. They might be thinking, I want to give to you. I just don't have time to think about it right now. Oh, okay. This is another ask email. I don't have time to read it today. Okay. It's December 26th. I need to actually make a decision about who I got another email from you. Okay. Yeah. I'm doing that today because now I've been reminded. So there's don't be afraid to ask too many times. But what is the overall picture of your relationship? Have you been making deposits in their emotional bank account? Yes. Are you treating them like a friend?
Yes. Deposits in the emotional bank account. And I know that when I first started sort of selling courses and selling anything via my email list, it was a huge struggle for me because I thought, I've just provided all this free value for so long. People are going to not respond. And I think nonprofits think the same way. They think, I don't want to overwhelm them with fundraising appeals. But the thing is, people want to help. like you said, they want to be
Mhm.
part of this, and they want to have agency, and they want to feel like they're making a difference, and they want to put their money where their mouth is very often. So what kind of like language, what kind of strategies should we be employing in our fundraising emails to turn these subscribers into donors if they're not donors already?
I think the most powerful things you can do are, one, understanding for yourselves, why should someone give to us rather than to some other cause or not at all and buy something for themselves for the same amount of money. So knowing your value proposition, knowing why I should give to you, and answering that question, thinking through it, having a really powerful elevator pitch and being able to break it down. So there's that, just being able to answer the why. It's more than just, we have this goal, we have this shortfall, we need to raise this amount of money. Well, like, why? And what impact will they see? And how are you uniquely positioned to accomplish that? So there's that. There's also seeing your donor as, this is their mission. Once upon a time, the Rockefellers of the world, they started these big philanthropic projects, and it was their money and their project. And just because our donors aren't giving, most of our donors aren't giving tens of millions of dollars, millions of dollars to make these things happen. And we see that kind of differently because they're giving $100, $50, $500. We have to still remember that this is their work and we are the stewards of that work. And we're helping that may become reality with their support. And so being able to talk to people in that way helps them take ownership of it. So yeah, I think the value proposition, of course, telling stories, just so you can make it look real, or help people see the reality of it, not just talk about it in theory, is another. Obviously, we always talk about storytelling, but that's just a way to make it go from, okay, I know what your mission is in theory, to people are storytelling creatures and we love stories and we gravitate to hearing stories. And if you're a good storyteller, people want to keep hearing from you. So
absolutely. I love that.
Even if they don't give, they'll want to keep reading your emails.
Yes. And it does take a while. I mean, some people do give after that first appeal, but some people really need to be warmed up. They need that welcome series. They need to learn more about what you do. I think that nonprofits often understand that, or they often underestimate the amount of times they have to ask before they get a gift. And they think that, oh, we know everything that you do. We already know the stories. We already know the great work that you do. But we have a lot of stuff going on. Okay. There's a lot of things coming at us for a normal person in their work day and their regular day. So we do need a lot of different touch points. So I think that's a really great point. What about segmentation and personalization? This is something that I know nonprofits are interested in struggling with. So how can we use segmentation and personalization to make emails more effective?
Well, segmentation is really, really important. It's kind of this big, scary word, but all it means is just understanding that not all of your audience and your donors are the same. So everyone who gave last year, who hasn't given in a year, you could consider a lapsed donor and put them in a different category and talk to them a little differently and treat them differently than people who are your monthly donors. Your monthly donors, you need to talk to so differently than people who are just first-time donors or haven't given at all. They are the true owners of your mission. Besides your major donors, like your major donors and your monthly donors are the owners of this mission in a way that no one else is. And so talking to them that way, that doesn't mean you aren't going to make appeals to do a one-time gift to your monthly donors, but you do need to look at them that very differently and talk to them differently. So it's just understanding that, okay, we're trying to talk to a lot of different people and we need to be respectful of who we're talking to and how we approach them. So thinking about those audiences, you don't need to get super complicated about it, but there's just, people who are new subscribers or subscribers who've never given. There's people who've given once or once this year, and you want to try to get them to give again, become a kind of an ongoing or a key donor who is going to keep coming back and not lapse. There's other lists you can create too. So there's that. I think one way to do some personalization is obviously to have your emails come from a single person, whether maybe each audience is a little different. Like people who've never given hear from this person, and people who've given once hear from this person. Our monthly donors hear from this person who owns our monthly donor community and runs it or whatever. So you could do, but always having your emails come from a specific individual and let people know, hey, if you reply, we will respond.
Yes.
Like encouraging actual replies is probably one of the best ways to make your emails personal. Like, yes, you're sending out an email to a lot of people. It's not one-to-one, but you can encourage a one-to-one conversation. So instead of just going for clicks, go for replies. That's a much better metric to aim for. And that will make your emails turn into something personal automatically. There's no trick there. It's just, hey, I would love to hear from you. Or what do you think about this? Or what is your feedback? Or why did you choose to give today? Or how do you like to hear from us? Or what input or feedback do you have for how we're fulfilling our mission? Or what made you excited? Or what was the best story we've told? Or whatever, any of these questions. And then please hit reply because we're going to respond. And if you get overwhelmed with replies, yay, you have a really, really good problem.
I would love to be overwhelmed with replies. I think yes. People are paying attention and reading your emails.
In my own welcome series, so the first email I send is the lead magnet or whatever it is I promised. The second email I send the next day is a total personal email. And I'm like, hey, I sent this to you yesterday, but I didn't really introduce myself. I'm Chris. Here's some things about me. My parents are from New Orleans. I grew up in Colorado. I've got a little bit of Southern roots in me. I've got 7 kids. A little bit about that. I tell some facts about myself and I say, please tell me 3 things about yourself. I get more replies to that email than any other email I sent because it's personal. So I encourage you in your welcome series, like make one of your emails about who you are as a person and why you're connected to this mission and encourage people to reply.
Wonderful. We just don't talk to our email subscribers like people. We look at them as numbers on a spreadsheet, I feel like, and just, email is something we got to get off our to-do list. Yeah, it's challenging for sure. So when we are measuring the effectiveness of email campaigns, what key metrics should we be tracking?
Again, I think replies is the one that we overlook. And you're going to look at click rates and open rates too. And you can learn by looking at those metrics, okay, this subject line was, because really the open rate is just effectiveness of your subject line. It can also be a measure of the overall relationship. Mm-hmm. If you have consistently high open rates, people they feel connected to you. They like what you're sending them. They feel like you're bringing value to them. And if you have lower open rates, it might be that they don't feel like that, like you're asking too much, or it could just be like, well, I just don't have time. This newsletter is too overwhelming. It simply could be you're sending great stuff, but maybe just instead of a monthly newsletter that has 10 things in it, send an email once a week with 1 thing in it. Split it up. Send your great content, split it up, send it into 1 thing. When you get those amazing newsletters and there's so much in them, it's like, I don't know where to start. I'll just pick 1 random thing and I'll ignore the rest. I don't have time to look at the rest. Or if you feel overwhelmed at all, it's like, I don't have time to do this today, delete. Yeah. So splitting it into smaller segments, that doesn't quite answer the question of metrics, but I think that can help you understand what metrics you're seeing and what to do about them.
So if our emails are not converting, where should we troubleshoot first?
If people are clicking, but not donating, then I would look at the donation page. Do we explain our value proposition? Are we testing different elements? Like maybe there's a video on the page and all we really need is just some more text explaining why someone should give. It just depends. There's various elements. There's no one winning strategy. But so if you're getting clicks, but not donations, I would look at the donation page. If you're getting opens, but not clicks, then I would look at what are we saying in our email?
Yes.
Why this isn't compelling people. They don't feel compelled to give. And again, you're also looking at the big picture the whole time. Have we been asking this audience too much? Or do we just need to make more asks right now? Maybe some people are giving, but we're not getting quite the response we want. Well, maybe they're just, again, they're not seeing every open email we even send. So that importance of repeating that message and why they should give during key fundraising times.
Well, you said it's so important because it applies to social media as well as email. If people are clicking on your donate page, and you can track this in your website analytics, say 500 people click from an email, but 1 donates, then that's a problem with your donate page or your website loading time. So I think we tend to blame the messenger a lot of the time, but we're not looking at the back end. Are there too many forms to fill out, or is it really hard to understand? Because if people are clicking and they want to donate, but then they're falling off when they get to your website or your mobile optimized form, we need to look at that much more strategically.
Yeah. Or if people are giving, but they're not giving monthly. Well, did we actually tell them why they should give monthly? Because that is a different ask and a different appeal than a one-time gift. And we need to actually make a different case, a different value proposition for why, okay, you're about to give us $100. Would you convert that into a $10 monthly gift? And here's why that's much more impactful. We're not asking you for more money. We're asking you for less money, but just give it to us, make it a monthly gift. And here's the reason this is so impactful for us. And actually explaining that instead of just be like, hey, would you like to convert it into a monthly gift? As if like just the technology piece is all that was missing. But what's missing in people's minds is, why should I give? Or all the, there may be friction or other things like that.
Does email work really well to convert people to monthly donors?
Absolutely. If you can make your case about why should someone give monthly on a donation page, we can do the same case in email. In fact, email is a great way to do it because you can have a much bigger message that you want to communicate that you would really do on a donation page over time in email. You can tell stories. You can highlight monthly donors. You can make your case. You can talk about the impact of the program, and you can do all that on a donation page, but you could make a really long donation page, or you can break it up into bite-sized manageable pieces in email. And it is a great time when someone's given their first gift. It is a great time to try to convert them into a monthly donor within that next month after they've given their first gift, to try to emphasize, like, would you consider becoming a monthly donor? You just gave us a gift of $50. Here's why it would be, we can multiply your impact by far more than just another $10 monthly gift or $5 monthly gift. Here's why the impact and reach you could have. So just thinking about that key time they've just given, and they still have you in mind after that, during that next month, that is a great time to actually convert them into monthly donor.
Oh, I love this. So what is one action item a nonprofit can take this week to improve their email list growth?
To improve the growth, it would be, look at your website. Why should someone sign up for your email list? Have someone who knows you but doesn't know your website that well, a friend, a colleague who's not at your org, like, go to your website and say, tell me why I should sign up. Tell us why you think we're asking you to sign up for our email list. What do you get for that? And just get some feedback. Another option is, on your confirmation page, when someone has opted in, put a short 2-question survey. Something like, what did you could put this for all, you have the same survey for all any kind of newsletter or downloads that people are offered. What did you sign up for, and why did you subscribe? Understand from your donors or your subscribers' language what caused them to make that decision, so then you can understand their thought process and better communicate it to other people.
Love it. Wonderful. So specific, so easy to understand, and just so tactical and practical. And Chris, that is what I love about you and your emails. So where can people find you online and sign up for your list to get more of these amazing tips?
Yeah. So go to yourbeeline.com. And if you go to the resources page, you'll see a bunch of different ebooks and quizzes I offer. I've got one on how to find new donors through digital marketing. But even cooler, if you look at the bottom right corner, there's a little bee on my homepage. And that little bee, it'll ask you where you want your resource emailed. And then it will ask you a question like, what is the biggest marketing question you have right now? And you tell it, or problem, you tell it what you're looking at or trying to deal with, and it will create a custom download for you, a custom resource for you on the fly, and email it to you. It's AI based, and it's using all of our content and knowledge and stuff that we've put into it. So it'll create something custom for you and email it to you, so you get something exactly what you need. It doesn't even have to be a whole ebook. It could just be like one page. Here's some tips. So you could take stuff from different ebooks we've created and get something exactly what you need.
I'm going to go do that right now. That is such a cool thing. Is it run on Chat GPT?
It is run on CauseWriter.
Oh,
that's
okay.
by George of Whole Whale. We put that together.
I love Whole Whale. That's fantastic. Okay, so yourbeeline.com. Click on the B. Click on any number of the resources that Chris and his team offers on the website. Thank you so much for being here. This has just been wonderful. Always great to see you.
You too. Thanks, Julia.
Well, hey there. I wanted to say thank you for tuning into my show and for listening all the way to the end. If you really enjoyed today's conversation, make sure to subscribe to the show in your favorite podcast app. and you'll get new episodes downloaded as soon as they come out. I would love if you left me a rating or a review because this tells other people that my podcast is worth listening to. And then me and my guests can reach even more earbuds and create even more impact. So that's pretty much it. I'll be back soon with a brand new episode. But until then, you can find me on Instagram at JuliaCampbell77. Keep changing the world, you nonprofit unicorn.